Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Okay, so some of you might have seen this little penching I did quite a few years ago now, but I've done a bit of work on it. The rock, it's Dragonstone rock, and the bottom of it just broke off, so then I had to redo it again. And I'm just noticing it's all breaking off again. So I think this rock has served its purpose. I don't think I'm going to get much longer out of it. You can see it's all cracked and broke across there now as well. So I was thinking it's time to move this tree onto and something new. So I decided, rather than trying to find another rock and doing this kind of thing, might make kind of a rock penching kind of a thing. So let's move that to one side for 1 second if I can. So what I did was, like the last wall, I got a piece of this polystyrene to use it in building sites and stuff. So I got a piece of that. You see what I do is I just draw my rough outline. You see that I've drawn an outline of another project I'm thinking of, and then I carve it out using just a little serrated knife like this. Does the job, just a kitchen knife, and I carve it all out until I have this what I want, and then I just went over it quickly then with a blowtorch, and it just kind of seals it, stops all the balls and stuff breaking off. It kind of gives it a kind of a hard outer shell. So you can see I've cut a big hole all the way through. So that will be you can imagine the tree will be kind of in here, that kind of a thing. See that? So my next job now is to coat this in cement, which is nice and lightweight. So I'll coat it in cement. A rock that size would be pretty hefty. So yeah, I'll do it like this, then I'll coat it in cement, and then we'll give it some detail and stuff, and then paint it up. And then I'm thinking I have a tray here. If I can get it out, I'll just dig that out. And so I have this shallow tray, just actually it's a very shallow drip tray kind of thing, so I can actually cement that in there. I'll drill some holes for drainage through it, but that then will hopefully be a piece I use. I may use this one, I may use a different one. I have a few different ones. I'll try the different ones. This one might be a bit big and a bit square. Maybe I need something a little bit smaller. I could cement the whole thing and not put any tray on it, just leave it as like a rock. Could also do that. But we'll see. I might have a smaller tray which might work a little bit better, just as a base for it, and keep this one for another idea of a landscape, more kind of one. This one maybe I could even use the tray it's in. I could just take the rock off and just stand that somewhere with the tree on it until the time for when I can plant this in. So maybe that's something I'll do. Okay, so that's the first part of the video, and I'll just pause it now, and then we'll come back and we'll do some cementing. Okay, so it's the next day now. I have my piece of polystyrene here. I've decided I'm not going to put it into a tray. I'm just going to do it like a rock planting. So this will be basically without a tray. So what I've done is I've glued some mesh over the hole, and I've marked out this bit of plastic here. It's just with PVC cloth. The basic outline of the bottom and the circle where the drainage hole is going to be. So what I'll do is I'm going to put couple of these dowels across it. Cut this one. Where's my... So this will just act as my drainage then when it's all cemented up. That'll leave trenches in the cement. Okay, so I'll mix this up. So now I'm just going to put it down, trying to avoid where the circle is if I can, or as much of it as I can. I can always clean off if it covers too much, but as long as there's some bit showing. I'll just put this down now. Just basically filling in all around. Like that, we can always do any repairs afterwards if there's gaps or anything, but or like that if we need to cut some out where the hole is, we do that too. I've put this on the turntable so I can move it around. I'm working with it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is basically line up the hole. Put that on there like that. I want to squash it right down to the dowels, like so, and that will give us a solid base. We take the dowels out and that'll give us a drainage then. So now all I need to do is start bringing that up the sides like that. Just to kind of lock it on, and then when we put the more cement over it, it'll kind of join up with this cement and give us a kind of a solid join, hopefully. Probably could have maybe put some oil on the wooden sticks just to make it easier to get them out, but I think they should come out okay. Just twist them, and if I have to dig them out a little bit, I can do that. Okay, so I can leave that now to kind of settle in a bit, and I may as well start on the top now, and we'll start moulding some of this on. First coat, you don't really have to be too fussy. First coat is just basically to try and cover as much, if not all, of the polystyrene, so then you have a kind of a solid concrete base to start sculpting your rocks and things on. It's going to take a bit of mixing. This isn't actually cement. What I use here is actually grout, tile grout. I just find it sticks better. It's less messy because it's already pre-mixed by small enough bags, and it's just kind of got a bit more of a stickiness to it, and it dries really well. If not, you could do this, but I would do my first coat in just all pure cement and water. Wouldn't add any sand to the first coat. Right, where's my spoon? Pull this out. Put some up here maybe. Okay. Spread that out a bit. Okay, what I will do is I'll spread this out, and then I'll mix up another batch, and we will keep going with it, and I will cover the whole thing. We can, well, I'll probably cover the top. I don't know about getting in under here yet, because for down there I normally use my hands, and I would make the stuff a bit drier, a bit thicker. But at the moment I have a cut under my thumb, on my thumb, and it's one of them stupid ones that won't heal because it's right under the nail, and I have no gloves at the moment. You really want to be using rubber gloves. Check your mics are on. I don't know what these mics are like. Yeah, supposed to be rubber gloves supposed to be arriving tomorrow, so just disposable ones, but you really should be using them because this stuff dries out your hands, and that's when you get the cracks and stuff in your fingers, and that's when they get sore. So I might leave that bit till tomorrow. We'll keep going with the top. I'll mix another batch, and when we've got a bulk of it done, we'll come back and have a look. Okay, we're making good progress. It's actually, the stuff is actually mixed at a perfect consistency that it's sticking really well, so I am able to do underneath without having to use my hands. The palette knife is getting on good. And yeah, I think the idea is to not use too much at one go, just use a small palette knife, and then the weight of the cement doesn't pull it off. It kind of sticks. Whereas if you put too much on in a big blob, the weight of it just will knock it all off, pull it apart. So I'm just using this little palette knife and just putting a small bit on at a time, and just working my way around. You'll be able to see here that there's this top piece was actually just glued on to give us a bit of height over here, but I just used a bit of glue to glue that on, and now obviously when I cement over it, that will completely seal it in. So basically just keep going with this, and hopefully I've mixed enough to do it all, but let's see. And then this can be left then to dry, or almost dry, and we can add our next coat on. Okay, so we'll keep going and we'll come back in a while. Okay, so I'm out of stuff again, but we've made some good progress. I've got all underneath here done, all under here and around to here. Just up here and around here a bit and under here to do. It's great that I can get it to stick under here now, because otherwise I might have had to wait a day or two and then take the whole thing off, turn it over and work from it upside down to do all this, but it's sticking good now, so hopefully we'll get it all finished today, and then it can just sit then for a day or so, and we can work on adding detail then. Okay, so I'll mix up another little batch and then we'll finish it off. Okay, I think we're on to the last bit. It's this bit up here now left. Yep. So we'll just finish that off. I stuffed the hole in here with a kitchen roll just to stop in case any falls in. We don't want it falling on top of the mesh and then blocking our hole, so it's a good idea just to stuff a little bit in there just to, in case. But to be honest, it's sticking so well that barely any dropping anywhere, which is really good. It's such a bonus being able to do it all in one go, because one like that, it's probably saved me a day of waiting, or a couple of days of waiting for it to dry before I could flip it over. And also it'll have joined the bottom bit that I put on for it to sit on is all joined now in one go, so it's all basically one capsule of cement covering the whole thing. Whereas if I had to come back and do it, I'd be trying to make sure that that join stuck really well. So that's it all covered now. So what I will do now is I'll probably just go over it now with maybe a small trowel and just make sure that we've still kept some of the grooves and things. They're not filled in too much. Maneuver the cement around a bit. And then I'll leave it dry for a couple of hours maybe. Let's see how long it takes. There's a dehumidifier in here, so it kind of dries quick enough. And we will go over it then with either a damp sponge or a brush, a little paintbrush, and just gently smooth it out, but making it so it's still rough so that the next layer sticks good. But get rid of things like this, all these peaks and stuff. If you see them, they will just be knocked off anyway. We're just kind of smoothing it all out with a brush then, or like I said, a sponge. I have a little sponge on a stick which seems to work quite well. Just dampen it slightly. It just helps to blend it all and leave it a bit rough at the same time. Like that on any of these kind of peaks of something sticking up will just break off, or when you're cementing it, they'll make crack and take a chunk with it. So we want to kind of take it, as many of them as we can. Leave us a good enough surface to work on for the next layer of cement we put on. Okay, so I think we will leave it at this now. The video, I'll still keep going around touching up, but I'll leave the video at this now, and then we will come back and see how it is later. Can we smoothen it out a bit? Making sure where the cement is a bit thick. Just spread it around a bit more inside these grooves. It's not filling in the little channels too thick. Touching up any little areas that were missed. Okay, I think we're good. I think this sponge can probably do the rest now. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. Yeah, so like I said, I've got a little sponge there. I'll just dampen this, and we'll just go over gently and carefully, just rubbing all these kind of grooves off and little lumps and things off, and it'll give it a kind of a smoother coat, but we'll still have groove, kind of like scratches in it, if you like, so that the next layer will stick. So we'll leave it at that, and next time you see it, hopefully it'll be all done and ready for its next coat. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll stick around for the second part of this project. It's probably going to take a few goes again like the last one to get it all done and finished, but yeah, the things like this, what you could do is where is it? I have some tape somewhere. You could put like some sort of mesh on it, or some metal, a little bit of metal or something to protect it. A little bit of, trying to find my tape, can't find it. I have tape which they use for joins in plasterboard, which I've lost, but you could use that. But to be honest, I very rarely knock my pots and things, and if it got a bit of a knock, it's very simple to repair. You just put a bit more cement on, or you can even get a piece of the offcuts and you can just like stick that in wherever you wanted to, and then just cement over it and join it on. So it's quite easy to repair, so I'm not that worried about it. So like I said, hopefully you'll stick around for the second part, and if you do, we'll see you then. So thanks for watching.